they hurt you. The evidence is clear. But instead of apologizing, they make excuses, blame you, or act like nothing happened. You're left confused and invalidated, wondering why they can't just say sorry. If you've ever dealt with someone who refuses to apologize, you know how maddening it is. But psychology explains why this happens, and it has nothing to do with you. A genuine apology requires 3 things: acknowledgement of wrongdoing, empathy for the hurt caused, and a commitment to change. But for some people, apologizing feels psychologically impossible. It's not stubbornness or cruelty, though it can feel that way. It's often rooted in deep insecurity, fragile self-esteem, or personality patterns that make admitting fault feel like annihilation. For others, it's a learned behavior from childhood where vulnerability was punished. And yes, in some cases, it's narcissism, a genuine inability to see themselves as wrong. Let's break down the psychology behind why some people can't or won't apologize. Reason 1. Apologizing feels like admitting they're a bad person for many people. There's no separation between their actions and their identity. In their mind, admitting they did something wrong means admitting they are wrong, fundamentally flawed, bad, unworthy. This often stems from childhood experiences where mistakes were met with harsh criticism, shame, or withdrawal of love. They learned that being wrong equals being unlovable. So as adults, their psyche protects them by refusing to acknowledge fault. It's a defense mechanism. Apologizing feels like opening the door to shame they can't tolerate. Psychologists call this ego fragility. Their sense of self is so brittle that any crack, like admitting they hurt someone, threatens to shatter it. So they avoid apologies at all costs, even when it damages relationships. They'd rather lose you than face the internal collapse they fear. Reason 2. They lack empathy or emotional awareness. Some people genuinely don't understand that they hurt you. This isn't an excuse, it's an explanation. People with low emotional intelligence, certain personality disorders, like narcissistic personality disorder or alexithymia, difficulty identifying emotions, struggle to recognize the emotional impact of their actions. They might intellectually know they did something you didn't like, but they can't connect that to genuine remorse because they don't feel your pain. They lack empathy, the ability to emotionally resonate with another person's experience. From their perspective, if they didn't intend to hurt you, then it's not their fault. Your feelings are your problem, not theirs. This is particularly common in narcissistic individuals. They can't see beyond their own perspective, so your hurt feels irrelevant or exaggerated to them. Without empathy, there's no internal motivation to apologize. Reason 3. Apologizing means losing power or control in some relationships. Refusing to apologize is a power move. If they apologize, they're admitting you were right and they were wrong. In In their mind, that shifts the power dynamic. They lose control, so they double down, deflect, or gaslight you into questioning your own reality. You're too sensitive. That's not what happened. You're overreacting. These responses serve to keep them in the dominant position. Psychologically, this often appears in relationships with control or dominance issues, sometimes linked to insecure attachment, sometimes to abusive tendencies. Apologizing would mean vulnerability, and vulnerability feels dangerous to people who need to maintain control at all costs. For them, relationships are a zero-sum game. If you're right, they lose, so they never let you be right. Reason 4, they were never taught how to apologize. Not everyone who refuses to apologize is narcissistic or malicious. Some people simply never learned how. If they grew up in a household where apologies didn't happen, where parents never modeled accountability, where conflict was avoided or explosive, where admitting fault was seen as weakness, they don't have the emotional tools to apologize as adults. They might feel bad about hurting you, but they don't know how to express it, so they avoid the conversation entirely. Or they offer hollow apologies that lack genuine remorse. "I'm sorry you feel that way," or "sorry," but followed by justifications. This isn't malice, it's emotional immaturity. The good news is, this type of person can learn. With patience, modeling, and sometimes therapy, they can develop the capacity to take accountability, but they have to be willing to do the work. If someone in your life refuses to apologize, understand that it's not about you. It's about their psychological limitations, fragile ego, lack of empathy, need for control, or emotional immaturity. But here's what you need to know. You can't force someone to apologize. You can't logic them into accountability. And staying in a relationship where you're never validated, never heard, and never met with genuine remorse will erode your self-worth. Ask yourself, can I accept this person as they are, knowing they may never apologize? If the answer is no, and it's okay if it is, you need to set boundaries or leave. You deserve to be in relationships where your feelings matter, where mistakes are acknowledged, and where repair happens. If they can't give you that, it doesn't matter why. The impact is the same. You're in a relationship where you're carrying all the emotional labor and getting none of the accountability. That's not sustainable, and it's not love. Choose people who can say sorry and mean it. Your peace depends on it.